For a lot of us home coffee brewers, our first foray in the space is making a pour-over. A humble hand brew will teach you a lot about brewing good coffee, consistency, grind size, brew time, and how they all correlate, building a solid foundation of knowledge. But one factor still remains more or less a mystery when it comes to the traditional pour-over design, and that is bypass. The term bypass refers to water that finds its way around the coffee bed when brewing. The best way to visualize this is pouring directly onto the filter, which clearly shows how quickly and easily water can find its way into your brew, not contributing to the extraction of the coffee grinds. This is essentially what's happening, albeit in a less obvious way when brewing on a traditional dripper. That's not to say your favorite dripper can't produce good coffee, but that bypass can create inconsistent results. And that's where the Next Level Brewer says it's edging out the competition. Combined with features like controlled water application and a uniform extraction through an even bed of coffee, they claim high extractions are the norm. So the question is, does the Next Level Brewer live up to its namesake, or is it just an over-engineered AeroPress without the plunger? We're going to get into that and much more, but first, a quick word from this video's sponsor, COMETEER Coffee. If you've been around the channel for a while, this likely isn't the first time you've heard me talk about COMETEER. These unassuming, fully recyclable capsules are chock full of coffee goodness, delivered to your door with new roasts and roasters, curated to your preferences each month. Each coffee is brewed to perfection, and then flash frozen to lock in all of its unique flavors, ready to be enjoyed iced or hot. With warmer weather coming, I'm all about the iced coffee. Just thaw out the capsule, pour into a glass of ice water, stir, and enjoy. Even as a barista, when I'm in a hurry or just don't feel up to the task, the convenience paired with the cup quality of COMETEER just can't be beat. So for a limited time, COMETEER is offering my viewers a free insulated fellow tumbler, a $30 value when you use the code Sprometheus GWP at cometeer.com/realsprometheusyt. I've kept my freezer stocked with COMETEER since I first tried it last year, and I wouldn't promote something I don't actually enjoy myself. So if you're COMETEER curious, now's a great time to give it a try for yourself. I'll be the first to admit, at least in the eye of this beholder, that the Next Level Brewer isn't going to win any beauty pageants. It's not a work of art, but what it is a work of science. Every piece of the brewer serves simple but specific purposes. The base itself is flexible and functions not only as a funnel as the coffee brews, but also creates an airtight seal between the filter and the dripper wall as the brew chamber fills up. Because the filter itself is clamped down, it removes bypass as a factor, and ensures all the water poured in makes direct and full contact with the coffee bed. The top shower screen also plays a dual role. It ensures a more even saturation of the coffee bed by spreading out the single stream from your kettle into multiple droplets. This also makes sure that a direct stream isn't cutting straight through the coffee bed, leading to a potential uneven extraction. I've had the Next Level since its early prototype, and now with the production model, I haven't really found myself straying far from their basic brewing recommendations. Because of the brewer's extraction efficiency, I've never had anything lower than a 22% yield. So there's no need for any tips or tricks to eke out a little more flavor here or there. The only variables you really need to consider are grind size, brew temperature, ratio, and in some cases, dilution. My go-to recipe is their 1:14 plus dilution, which is aimed at giving or maintaining a coffee's nice brightness without much of that immersion flavor. I grind towards the coarser end of their 500 to 800 micron recommendation to give me a little faster drawdown, which I find keeps the brew cleaner without sacrificing the extraction strength. So let's just go through a brew from start to finish to give you more of an idea of what the process looks like. First up, place, secure, and rinse your filter. Pour in 30 grams of coffee and shake to level the bed. Quickly pour in 100 grams of water, give it a gentle swirl, and let bloom for 1 minute. At the minute mark, begin pouring at a slow rate, trying to avoid the water from getting too high in the chamber. I try to keep it at or below an inch above the bed. Stop at 220 grams and wait for the water to nearly reach the bed. Then pour again at a slow rate to 320 grams. Repeat the process one last time to 420 grams. Give another gentle swirl, and then wait for drawdown to end, usually between 5 and 6 minutes. Finally, dilute the coffee to taste with 40 to 60 grams of water. And if you want a super tasty flash brew coffee, just cut the brew phases to 200, 300, and 400, while brewing over 80 to 100 grams of ice. And voila, you've got a fresh brewed iced coffee that'll put any cold brew to shame. Because the active brewing area is so large, it seems to perform better with larger doses of coffee. Smaller batches down to 18 grams are possible, but any lower in my experience and they just don't produce as consistent cups as the larger dose brews. Another factor worth considering when it comes to large doses, if you dial in wrong or you want to rebrew for any reason, you're out 30 grams of coffee. By comparison with most other pour-over drippers, the brew times are a bit longer. My average is usually between 5 and 6 minutes. Also, it's not a big deal and expected considering the material, but the white brewer will stain over time, so if that bothers you, consider getting the black one instead. And lastly, the filters are unique only to the Next Level, so beyond cutting your own in a pinch, you'll have to order direct when you need a resupply. As specialty coffee trends and brewing knowledge continues to push the limits of extraction, the Next Level Brewer does a great job at keeping up. There aren't many brewers on the market that are capable of hitting such high extractions with so little effort. Where it lacks in aesthetics, it makes up for in quality cups. I still love my traditional cone filter brewers and the Next Level won't replace them, but it's a great addition to any coffee lover's collection. And on that note, it's time I wrap this one up and pass the conversation on to you. Have you had coffee from or brewed on a no bypass brewer? If so, what are your thoughts? And if you're an early adopter to the Next Level Brewer, I'd also love to know how you're getting along with it. And of course, drop any other coffee questions you might have in the comment section down below. And as always, I'll see y'all next week. And of course, a special thank you to my May Patreon supporters, Stephen, Claire, Sam, Bound Coffee, Spookus, Noel, Cheryl, Tom, Sean, Horrison, Rose, Squeegee, Ads, Josh, Corey, Tim, Tony, Jason, Robert Underdunk, Jeffrey R, Jeff Roth, Mike, Brian, Tyler, Jose, BJK Cafe, JRC, Absolute, Stephen G, Home Barista Coach, Keefe, John Gumby, Alexis M, Barista Michael, Arthur L, TechCom Advisors, Ed T, Happy Camper, Keith, Gary, and Devo, Ben K, Rami C, Monster 04, Bruce P, Lilac Y, Brooks, Henry, and Sam, Lord Bumbly, Robert Y, Robin E, Bojan B, Robin S, Daniel P, Hexagram, Damian S, Suen, Pat T, Nano Roastery, Zachary V, and Marco K. And of course, a big thank you to the barista and barback tiers. If you want any information on my Patreon, there's a link in the description and in the upper right hand corner right now. And of course, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Hit that little bell button for notifications of new videos posted every Friday. Check out my Instagram at Sprometheus for content throughout the week, my blog at Sprometheus.com, my coffee at littlegiant.coffee, and as always, stay caffeinated. Pony Boy.